And welcome to Augsburg in Germany for the International Canoe Federation's second Slalom World Cup of the 2013 season. 295 paddlers from 31 nations are here on the famous Ice Canal, competing on the venue of the 1972 Olympic Games. As per usual, 5 classes, including the singles for the men and women, and culminating in the spectacular C2. We're going to show you the first 3 from each competition, so let the action commence. First up, it's the men's single canoes. Star-packed lineup here, but we had a few problems. Let's have a look first at Sideris Tassiadis for Germany. Local course, local boy, in fact the poster boy. He won a silver medal in this class in the London Olympic Games. Very dynamic start here, goes down the washing machine. As you can see, some gates are red and white, some gates are green and white. You need to go downstream through the green and white and upstream through the red and white. Go back through difficult gate number 10, across the water as quickly as can. Pulls his way through, that's really impressive. Coming towards a spin dryer. Over the restaurant wave, just 2 more upstreams to go. Very, very quick, in and out of the upstream 20 without touching. So far he's clear. Quite a long sprint to the end. But he takes the quickest provisional time and absolutely delighted to nail on his local course. Next in action, it's 25-year-old Slovak Matej Beneš from Bratislava. For many years he's been in the shadow of Michael Martican, who's actually not competing today, but hopefully will for the World Championships. The idea of the course, very, very simple. 22 gates to negotiate, 16 downstream and 6 upstream. Most time is given away and won on the upstreams. So far looking very solid, quickly in and out. Ranked number 4 in the world at the moment and recently had excellent form. Coming second in Cardiff last week in the first World Cup of the series. He's certainly in touch here and importantly clean. Very quick, in and out. It's going to be touch and go. How's he going to do it? Takes the provisional lead and absolutely delighted. Last to go, Alexander Slavkovsky, also from Slovakia, 30 years old. A very tall, deceptive style. Punts off the wall, which of course you're allowed to do. 2 seconds of penalties if you hit a gate, and if you're unfortunate enough to miss a gate, that's 50 seconds of penalties immediately added onto your time. But he's looking very much in control in the early stage of this race. At the moment, ranked number 2 in the world for reason. Tony Estanguet, who's recently retired, is still ranked number 1. 2 seconds ahead. It's his to lose now. Can he keep it together? That's very tight. Round the second to last up. Sprinting over the line. That is impressive. Takes the victory. 1.64 seconds ahead of the field. Results were a very tight competition. First, Alexander Slavkovsky from Slovakia. Second, his compatriot Matej Beneš. And third, Germany's Sideris Tassiadis.
Yeah, first time I'm on the podium. The last best result I had was 4th last year on the Europeans. So I wanted to break this rule to not be on the podium, and it couldn't be better.
Straight on with the action, switching from the canoes where they're kneeling to the kayaks with a double-bladed paddle where they're sitting down. Some of the world's top paddlers here, Peter Kauser, Etienne Dye. But in our picture, 21-year-old Mathieu Biazizo from France. There goes the start button, and he's off. Expect significantly faster times from the kayaks. Really good, impressive start here. Having said that, a little bit low on the first upstream, but fast in the first sections. In and out with one paddle stroke. You have to be good even to make the French team. But here we're coming round. Gate number 20, looking very solid and importantly clear at this stage. Just a quick sprint to the line. The last downstream is known as a very difficult gate with the current going against you, but here he comes. He knows, although it was good, he has left some time on the course. It is beatable. Now it's the Iceman on the ice canal. 26-year-old Paul Bockelmann from Germany. Father trains him and trains him very well. Deceptive style. Looks perhaps like he's not trying, but he really is. Again, quickly in and out of the upstream there. Jumps his bow over this stopper. He's accelerating round the Moby Dick. All competitors decide to go round where the stream is a bit faster. And that's a tricky gate coming around the stopper. 2 more upstreams to go. Bockelmann, a local boy, knows this course better than anyone else. And obliterates the Frenchies, taking the provisional first place, 2.6 seconds faster than anyone else. Last to go. Very serious competitor here. Also from Germany, a habitual World Cup medal winner, second last week in Cardiff. It's 24-year-old Sebastian Schubert, very quickly in and out of the gate number 8, 9, 10. That is impressive. Really using the water to his benefit. A little bit down on the split. But Paul Bockelmann's time was spectacular. Rolls over the spin dryer, over the restaurant wave, and very quickly in and out. You can see he's done that hundreds of times before, paddling as fast as he can. And that was enough for second place. It's German 1-2. Home knowledge really does count between these two local friends. And here's the official results. First, Paul Bockelmann from Germany. Second, Sebastian Schubert from Germany. Very impressive third place from Mathieu Biazizo from France.
I hear the results of the other guys, and so I'm not really nervous. So I'm sure I can do this. Yes, and so I do my run and finish first.
What do you like most about canoeing?
It's always challenging, it's different every single time. You meet great people and you have great experiences on different rivers and you get to travel as well. So.
It's very good fun to train for, going out there doing something different every day and racing on so many different whitewater sites.
I love to meet the other athletes from the other countries. Yeah, and paddling. I love paddling.
Yeah, besides competing, I like the cities we are visiting.
Feeling free on the water, just playing with waves, and that's what I like the most.
I absolutely love whitewater.
I like the water, meeting people and traveling.
I love to play with the water and feel the water at the race. It's what the most is funny at this sport.
I like the changes, because every time the water is changing, the course is changing, and the whole thing is changing. So it's not the 100 meters sprint. So the changes, I like the changes.
The action continues, going from the men to the women, and it's the canoe singles. Not yet an Olympic event, but it is getting more competitive all the time. And first on the course, she's been around for ages, but still only 19 years old. In fact, doubling up this weekend in the K1s of well, it's Mallory Franklin. She won a bronze medal last week in Cardiff. And when she's asked to describe her style, she says she based it on the boys' style. Very tall and good angles achieved. 3 seconds up at the first split, it is looking good. As you can see, perhaps not the same power as the men, but maybe even more instinct with all the technical challenges they have in front of them. Very quickly in and out of the upstream there. Coming towards the bottom section of the course, lactic acid kicking in. They've been going in for over 105 seconds now. Here she comes, just 2 gates to go. Sprinting over the line. And takes the initial first place, a massive 6 seconds ahead of the others. Is she delighted? Not quite sure. Another Brit on the course, 17-year-old Kimberly Woods, again doubling up. She actually won last week in Cardiff. Ecstatic with her victory. Real good control here in the early sections of the course. Comes down the zoom flume, slightly struggling here, but it's important to set up the good angles. Backs off to set herself up nicely, maybe dropped a little bit low, but uses the wave to great effect, and it's onwards and upwards. So far, a very clean course. Switching frequently, as you see. Perhaps they don't have the same power on their offside. There she goes. It's going to be close. Just outside the lead, but only half a second. That's another very solid performance by the young Brit. Last on the course, it's already a familiar phrase to canoeing enthusiasts around the world. 19-year-old Jessica Fox from Australia. Oh, but that's not what she wanted. An early touch. It means she will have to go fast, but she's probably in pure speed, the fastest on the course. Remember, she won the Olympic silver medal in the kayak singles. A very talented athlete here from a very famous kayaking family. Frequently switching. Uses the water very cleverly, quickly in and out. Needs to really accelerate the boat over this last section. And there's another touch. It's going to be close. However, she still was 4 seconds up on the split. Decides to spin to have the position in the perfect place to move down the spin dryer. Although 4 seconds of penalty, she still is looking good, although she has gone a little bit low on the upstream. She really has to paddle hard. Back in the flow. Really giving it everything she's got. That is quite remarkable. 4 seconds of penalties and still manages to win by 2.5 seconds. Confirmation of the results. Jessica Fox for Australia takes the first place. Mallory Franklin from GB takes second. And Kimberly Woods for Great Britain takes third.
It was a challenging course today. A lot of different choices to make on the course and some really hard moves. And I think everybody struggled in that final run. I made quite a few mistakes in that run. So to cross the finish line and see that I was in first, I was very relieved because it wasn't perfect.
My name's Ros Lawrence. I paddle C1 and K1 for Australia. I'm 24 years old and I come from a paddling family with lots of fun paddling in my past. I think my parents pretended that I had a choice, but it was pretty likely that I was going to end up paddling. I love to do C1. If you'd asked me last year, I would have said I'd be ready to quit K1 and just do C1 if C1 was in the Olympics, but I've persevered with K1 and now I'm enjoying that a lot as well.
I'm Julien Billot, I'm French. I'm coach since 2010 and I'm currently a national coach in Australia. One of the best quality of Rose is physique. She has really good explosiveness, which is really important for slalom. And the other point is she has a good basic technique and a good understanding of what she is doing on the water.
Strengths are I'm very determined. I really love the white water and having fun, learning new things. Weaknesses, not being able to listen to other people very well.
I think we can start to rework the way she paddles to be more efficient and also trying to focus on the strategy, especially to develop C1 and K1.
This year, you know, trying to be more consistent in C1, but I'm also trying to get a lot faster in K1 because I've been doing quite a lot more training in K1 over the last few months.
Staying with the women, but switching to the kayaks. Effectively, Stephanie Horn, born in Germany, makes 5 Germans in the final. And here's one of them, 27-year-old former world champion Jasmin Schonberg. Local girl, so she really certainly knows the flows and the angles to take. Quickly in and out of the upstream. Slightly down on the split, but importantly, she is clear. Surfing across the wave, that's very impressive. Really getting as close to gauge that, touching them as she possibly can. Round Moby Dick. Still clear and has made up time. She's leading at the moment. Coming over the spin dryer. Jumping through the restaurant wave. Just needs to set herself up for the second last up. And keeping close. Really impressive run. And is 4 seconds up over the others. That's the way to do it. And delighted with her performance. Next on the course, a compatriot, Cindy Poschel, born and bred in Augsburg, 23 years old. Last year, she won the silver medal in the Under-23 World Championships in the K1. Only small, but knows how to put the boat in the perfect position, although she's slightly down at the first split. Backing around, surfing across. These Germans all seem to use exactly the same technique. They must have been practicing here. And you can hear the traditional banging on the boards. Really does encourage these girls. So far, still in touch, only 0.7 of a second down. Coming to the business end of the course. This is going to be close. Can she keep clear? And no, she can't. She's taking a 2-second penalty. Oh, there's a 4-second penalty. It's all falling apart, but luckily she's still quick. Comes over the line. 2.34 seconds back. That's how to throw away a victory. Experience and talent put together, should be a good run. One of 2 French girls in the final, Emily Fair, 30 years old, London Olympic champion no less, and is up at the first split. It's all about positioning here. Can she surf across? Needs to put the power down. She does so well. Back in the flow. It's not her local course, but she certainly knows how to understand the water. The German crowd have gone quiet, but I'm sure she's in the zone. Needs to really get some speed out of this bit. Here she comes, still in touch, and importantly, no penalties so far. Over the restaurant wave. And that is really impressive. In and out with 3 strokes. It's going to be close. Here she comes. This is the sign of a pure champion. Takes the victory away from the Germans. 0.43 of a second faster than anyone else. Emily Fair takes gold for France. Silver and bronze for the Germans. Jasmin Schomburg, Cindy Porchel.
Yeah, it's a difficult course because it's a very specific course. Germans are very strong on, and it's a little surprise for me because in January I wasn't good on this course, but the work go.
Now to the final of the men's canoe doubles. Packed with Olympic medalists. They're using exactly the same course, but different challenges. They're very serious. Marcin Pochweiler and Stepanski had some good results last year. 4th in Po, 10th in Liceo, 6th in Prague, and 2nd in Bratislava. Punting off the wall, which course is legal. Come down the zoom flume, setting themselves up. Most teams have done this tactic over the last few days, maybe slightly low, but keeping the use of the water to the maximum. Pochweiler 29, Stepanski 24, making a really good dynamic combination. Like all Polish paddlers, they're really going for it. Still clear. Just 3 gates to go over the restaurant wave. Need to find the right line, which they've done to perfection. Now it's just a case of powering over the line. They were first to go in the 10-man final, but they put down a very impressive marker. Talking about impressive, Tim Bailey, Etienne Stott from Great Britain, the London Olympic Games champions. And by the way, it's Etienne Stott's birthday in the stern. 34 today. The youngster, Tim Bailey, only 33 years old. Not sure whether they're going to continue to the Rio Games, but they've certainly done Britain proud here. In and out, quickly on the up. This is looking impressive. They're still clear. 3.8 seconds up. Oh, there's a touch. Still a little time to play with, but they need to make sure they keep it clean. Coming over the spin dryer. They're reading this water really well. In and out quickly. It's going to be tight. Here they go. Yes, they make it so far and delighted with each other. But furious about his 2-second penalty. Bit of a cheap one there. Talking about being furious, can the French pair use their anger to put forward a good performance? What am I talking about? Well, they were so disappointed with their 4th place in the London Olympic Games. Very talented Gauthier Klaus, Matthew Peschier. And so far they're up, half a second up. Ranked number 4 in the world. Desperate to take the top spot from Pierre Labarelle, Nicolas Peschier, who, by the way, didn't have a good run this weekend. Still up, 0.1 of a second. And importantly, they didn't have a penalty so far. Good support from the local crowd. Into the last. Here we go. And it's all about sprinting to the line. They've done it. 0.4 of a second up. That's a great victory for the French pair. Confirmation of results. Klaus Pesche first, Bailey Stott third, Pochweiler Stepanski for Poland in 3rd position.
We feel good on the water, but the time is not really good.
compared to the semi-final. But we finally did it. We a lot of time in the past. We already finished in the first place, so now really happy to finally won the course.
That's it for today. I'm Matthew Layton. Thanks for listening. See you next weekend in Spain.